So I just got done seeing Tenet, and what a ride. Tenet is a fast-paced, beautifully shot, well-acted, action-packed, very confusing ride. Let's get into it. Tenet is a 2020 film directed by Christopher Nolan, starring John Davis Washington, Robert Pattinson, Elizabeth Debicki, and Kenneth Branagh. Armed with only one word, Tenet, and the fate of the entire world, a protagonist must journey through a twilight of international espionage on a mission that will unfold into something beyond real time. The movie definitely starts out with a bang. We see attackers attack an opera house, and then we have a SWAT team go into that opera house to try to stop these attackers. The main character in the movie, the protagonist, he ends up getting captured and is being tortured by the attackers for more information. He ends up taking a cyanide pill so he won't give them any more information. What this actually turns out to be a fake cyanide pill. Later, his boss tells him he passes the test and points him into the direction of an organization called Tenet. From here, he learns about a technology called the inverted. Pretty much what that is a technology that allows objects to travel through time. But if this technology were to fall into the wrong person's hands, it could spell the end of the world, and even worse, the end of time. From here, this sets the main character, John Davis Washington, on a mission to pretty much find out more information about this technology and also to stop this technology from falling into the wrong hands. So what did I like about this movie? One, I would say it's beautifully shot. There's a lot of really cool action scenes in this movie, just even with the opening scene where it just starts out off with a bang and you see the opera house taking over. And then there's just a lot of really cool stuff that they do in this movie. One, seeing the airplane go through a building. Seeing someone drive through that and just seeing just all of that was, I thought, really cool. And then a lot of cool action scenes. Because this movie plays around with time, they're able to do some really cool shots. And you see scenes where a building that's already exploded comes back together and explodes again. You're seeing these crazy car scenes where cars are driving backwards or driving forwards, and just really, really cool fight scenes that they're able to play around with time, and it's like they're fighting backwards. Also, some of the set locations were also really beautiful as well. One of the scenes they shot was it was in the sea, right, and there's some town right off the sea, and it was beautiful there. Like, just some of the set pieces, I would say, where they shot, it was beautiful. Also, I would say the acting. All the actors brought their A game. I thought they all killed their performances. They killed it. The main actor, John Davis Washington, I thought he did great as a lead character. He had some really, really cool fight scenes. I thought his acting was really, really good. And yeah, I really liked his character and his performance. I also like Robert Pattinson. I thought he did a really good job as well. He had strong acting, and you see how far he's come since his Twilight days. But one of, I would say, the breakout stars for me in this movie, I really liked Elizabeth Debicki's performance. She had some really cool scenes, and there was definitely some really intense scenes with her and her husband. But I thought she acted really, really well, and I really enjoyed her performance. And then her husband, which is Kenneth Branagh, he was the villain of the movie, and I thought he did a great job as a villain. He definitely was scary, and some of the scenes he had with his wife in the movie were very intense. But I think he did a good job playing the villain as well. So I would say, as far as the actors go, they all killed their performances. But ultimately, I think the action scenes were really cool in this movie as well. So what didn't I like about this movie? I would say my main problem with this movie is it was so confusing. One, it's very, very fast-paced, and it's just super confusing. I feel like, I just was confused, I would say, majority of this movie. And every time I thought, okay, I know what's going on now, then something else would happen, and then I would be like, no, I'm still lost. About halfway through, I would say I gave up on trying to really understand exactly what was going on. I got the general concept as far as them trying to stop the end of the world. But as far as how they were doing it and why they were doing it and what they were doing, I was lost. And I just kind of sat, at that point, I just enjoyed it for what it is. I just enjoyed the action. I enjoyed looking at it. But I definitely was confused a lot of it. And I think even, and you got to realize too, I went into this movie, I was wide awake. I had a coffee beforehand. I gave this movie my full attention. I saw it at the theater on the big screen, and I was still lost. So I don't even know, me watching it a second time, I still think I'd be lost. So I did, yes, that was going to be, I would say, one of my big complaints of it. Also, this movie is really, really, it's loud, but not necessarily, it's more hard to, there's a lot going on, and sometimes the characters would be explaining something, but then there's so much going on in a movie that you don't hear what the characters say. So I thought that was a little bit distracting already, especially being lost from before. So I would say that is going to be my major complaint of this movie, is not really understanding what was going on. Maybe watching it again would help, but I have a feeling I could watch it a couple times and still not exactly know what's going on. I still don't really know how the time in the movie exactly works. And then as far as Tenet, I didn't even really honestly know what Tenet means. And it's supposed to be the secret organization, but I feel like even with that was not really explained very well. So I'm not really sure what Tenet means. Not really sure how the whole time aspect in the movie works. But overall, I would say I had a fun time with this movie. It was really cool to look at. It was definitely one of those movies you want to see in the big screen. And yeah, I would compare this, I would say from what I'm hearing, a lot of people compare this to Inception. It's very cool to look at, but you might not necessarily know what's going on. So if that's something, I would say if you want to see Tenet, if something you're interested in, I say go ahead, give it a shot. Just be prepared to not know what's going on. So that is my review of Tenet. Are you going to go see Tenet? If you do see Tenet, let me know what you think. Were you confused as well? I hope it's just not me. And yeah, please leave your comments below and like this video. Thank you.